Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me here. Today, we're going to talk about burnout at work and work stress and how to get through those times where you're just struggling at work and trying to avoid things like quiet quitting and things like that. Okay, so this one is for all of the people out there who are struggling at work and struggling just to do what you need to do at work because you're overworked, underpaid, unappreciated, and things like that. There are so many times where I have someone come into my office and they say that they're super stressed out because of work and it's leading to anxiety, depression, and things like that, and they just don't know how to handle it. And sometimes it could lead to needing time off from work to work on your own mental health and things like that. So I want to address those things before you get to that place where you need to take time off from work, whether it's FMLA leave and stuff like that, and medical time off and things like that. I want to talk to those who are struggling before you get to that point where you need to take additional time off for your health. So a couple of things that I like to tell my clients is make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do, doing the things that you are entitled to when you are at work. So that means, number one, make sure you're taking your lunches, right? At most places, you are entitled to a lunch if you are working over a certain amount of time, depending on, of course, your where you work at and what state you're in. But you're required to, if you work over a certain amount of hours, you're required to take a lunch. So I'm going to say, make sure you're taking your lunches. Make sure that not only that you're taking your lunches, but make sure that you're taking your lunches and you're not working during that time where you're taking your lunch. Way too often people take what's called working lunches, where they take their work with them or they work at their desk or anything like that. Don't do that. That's just adding to that anxiety because you're not getting a break from that job. You're not getting a break from your work. So make sure that you're taking your lunches. Make sure you're not taking working lunches. Make sure that when you take these lunches, you get away from your desk. Even get out of the building. Get out of the building, get away from your desk, and take your lunch. Sometimes, you can take a 30-minute lunch. Sometimes you can take an hour lunch. If you could take an hour lunch, take your hour lunch. Take an hour, take a half an hour to get away from your work environment so that way you can clear your head and reduce that stress that you're having while you're at work. Okay? Next thing up, along with taking your lunches, you're entitled to breaks. At most places, if you're working over a certain period of time, you're entitled to a lunch, but you're also entitled to, 10 to 15 minute breaks in between also. Make sure that you take your breaks. If you're able to get away also at the same time. Just like I said, if you're able to get away from your job for your lunch, then if you can, I know at some places you won't be able to clock out, which means you can't get out of your work environment. But if you can get away from your work environment for that 10 to 15 minutes in terms of your break, do that, okay? So make sure you're taking your lunches, make sure you're taking your breaks as well. You are entitled to those things. Make sure that you're looking up the labor laws and things like that in your area, but you are entitled to these things. And next thing is going to be a little hard for some of you, vacation. Vacation is so important. Make sure that you are planning vacations at least once a year. Actually, I tell my clients, what you should do, if you can do it, you should be planning a vacation every 6 months, right? The first vacation should be a week long, 7 days, right? Should be a week long. The next vacation, if you're able to do so, I know not everybody is able to do this, but if you're able to do so, the next vacation you take should be 2 weeks long. So I'm suggesting that you should take 3 weeks of vacation a year. But that vacation, each of those vacations should be at least a week long, 7 days. Get 7 days away from your job every 6 months. You should be doing this. The reason why I say every 6 months is because it gives you a good break in between that's not too much, and it gives you something to look forward to, right? Even if it's you just taking a vacation that's a staycation. Staycations are really, really beneficial. And if you're able to do a staycation and you can't go somewhere, it's not a bad thing that you won't be able to go somewhere. A staycation is just as good and just as restful, if not sometimes more restful than a vacation in which you're going to be going somewhere. So every 6 months, take at least a week vacation. And if you can, one of those vacations should be 2 weeks long. Along with vacation time, you should also be getting, sick time. Make sure that you're taking your sick time when you're sick. A lot of people do not take their sick time when they're sick. A lot of people will still work when they're sick. Don't do that. And then also there's holidays, right? So there's almost a holiday every month, depending on what job you have and what your holiday time looks like. But there's still a lot of holiday time throughout the year. So a combination of your vacation time, your sick time, and this holiday time should give you a good amount of time away from your job if you are doing it the right way. Doing these things should reduce your stress level and help you when it comes to being able to get away from the burnout that you experience. I hope this is helpful for someone. If you have anything else that you like to do to avoid burnout, please leave a comment, okay? And just let me know, and maybe I can explore those things in another video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it made sense to you. I hope that it was helpful to someone. Hopefully it helped someone who's planning on doing some quiet quitting. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be really, really helpful to me. And I hope to see you in the next one.